Nice. Hello, guys. So this is not going to be a talk in the traditional sense that I talk about something. This is more of an interactive experience. I want to talk with you together about accessibility. I brought some examples where implementation is flawed, and I would like to discuss what is the problem, why is it a problem, how can we test it, how can we fix it. I have no idea if I can make it in 45 minutes, but we just try. So hey there, I'm Alex. I'm a freelancer doing stuff on the web. Oftentimes I work as a full stack developer, but my roles vary. Sometimes I'm more of a management role or consulting or even teaching. I'm interested in different stuff. Accessibility is one very important topic for me, but also performance, the idea of the lean web, that it doesn't have to be so bloated all the time, and test automation. I skipped all the slides with all the basics because Marco did an awesome job of explaining all of that. So I would say we just dive into the first example and see what might be wrong there. So all examples are kind of concerned with pasta because I like pasta. I hope you like too. So you cannot see anything particular here, but I will show you code, and I hope that some of you are big enough, it's too big, right? That some will see what might be wrong here with your eagle eyes. Okay, you know for sure, yeah? Tim, you're missing lang attribute, right? So this comment is in German. I might not, if you have noticed, but my entire operating system is in English. So when I turn on VoiceOver now, it doesn't match.
VoiceOver on Chrome. Example 1 Google Chrome. Example 1 Web Content. Heading Level 1. Perfekt Pasta für jeden Geschmack. Entdecken Sie unser Handwerker Sie Northwell Köstlichen Pasta Sorten. VoiceOver off.
You get the idea, right? So super minor detail, often overlooked, but if you mess this up, it is not usable at all if you have a screen reader, right? So what you need to do is in the HTML tag, specify the language with the lang attribute. Oh, DE in this case, right? And now if I reload and try it again.
VoiceOver on.
Exempel 1.
Web Content.
Exempel 1. Exempel 1.
Web Content. Heading Level 1.
Perfekte Pasta für jeden Geschmack.
You are currently on a...
Entdecken Sie unsere handverlebte.
You see, it even switches the voice in which is pronounced.
Interesting that German is the female.
Yeah. Right. Never thought about that. Okay, but there's still something, because if we go further.
La vera qualità della pasta si riconosce el primo morso.
VoiceOver off.
Okay. So what might be wrong there? This is this here. Any ideas?
So
Right. All folks don't know that. You can not only set the language for the entire document, as you do with the HTML tag, but also for a specific element within the document, right? So if you go ahead and you say lang IT for Italian here, and then we reload and test again.
VoiceOver off. In.
La vera qualità della pasta si riconosce al primo morso. Riccardo Rigato.
VoiceOver off.
You see? This way it does make sense. Otherwise, it's not conceivable at all. Okay. There's something I wanted to show you, which I forgot. I removed this. And now when I tested with the Lighthouse and I check for accessibility, unfortunately, that is the low-hanging fruit, so you can test it in an automatic way. And it does say here, yeah, it does say HTML, and it does not have the lang attribute. If I remove this here as well, reload this again. you can see it's the same score. It doesn't say that for this content right here. So very first example, that there are a lot of things that you just cannot find with automatic testing. You have to test for yourself, right? So if I now add the lang attributes again, do the test again. $100 points. Okay, nice. Next example. It's going to be a short one because, as you can see, we already have 100 points. So there's nothing to fix here, right?
Next.
Yeah, sure. Next example. Let's go. No. This website is full of shit, to be honest. And I just show you the HTML and you throw at me whatever idea you have that might be fixed here.
You took code from Markus' slides.
Hmm?
You took code from Markus' slides. 28. Can you scroll up, please, back to the image? Nothing's up there.
Yes. Okay. So
Don't talk about semantics, talk about that you had.
good. Users cannot orientate on the website because we didn't have a proper document outline, right? So all of this here right now is paragraphs. Let's make it headlines. So our products, that should be the H1 properly. This might be the H2. This as well. Two. Bam. Okay, better. What's more, when we talk about document outline or landmarks?
You have too many landmarks that are especially unlabeled. You have enough landmarks, or you have more than one.
Oh, yes. Actually, it's three. It's navigation here, it's here, and there's also this kind of meta navigation, the footer. So
Voiceover on Chrome.
for that,
Links menu. Headings menu. Landmarks menu.
if you check for the landmarks, we have three navigations. But if we just
Navigation. Navigation. Navigation.
if you can't just hear navigation, you have no idea what this navigation is before. Very good catch. So
No items in. Landmark closing. Landmarks meant. Voiceover off.
how can we fix this? Any idea? How can we make sure that it has proper naming for the navigations? Sorry?
The bottom navigation in the footer,
Mm-hmm.
the top navigation maybe in the header, and in between and main.
Okay, let's do that because that's also very important. We don't have something like this right now. Yeah, so we can have the footer here. We can have this is like the header, the logo, header, and there's a logo and the navigation like this, and the main. Yeah, that was your idea, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, if we check this,
Voiceover on Chrome. Banner. On item navigation. You are currently in a visited link. Home. You are currently in a landmarks menu. Navigation.
that we have
Banner.
the banner
Nav
and
main.
the main and
Nav
the
footer.
footer as landmarks, but the navigations we can kind of guess.
Navigation.
Navigation that is after the banner we can kind of guess, but it's not perfect. We can improve further. Any ideas?
No items in. Landmarks menu. You are voiceover off.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, this is where we need area. We can go ahead and add label. this navigation can have the area label like meta navigation. And this one in the header. Oh, no. Yeah, this one could have the area label main navigation, for example. So, and then there's this navigation that surrounds the products. We could go ahead and say area label products, something like this. That would work, but you have a better idea. Sorry?
Maybe an aside.
An aside element.
Yeah, navigation on the side because it's somehow.
Okay, yeah.
So an article and the side.
So you mean like we
No, not the area label. I mean the HTML tag.
to wrap it in an aside element,
Yeah, maybe it's structure.
something like this.
Uh,
Yeah, that wouldn't improve anything. And so it is part of the main content, right? So it wouldn't be a side.
We give the H1 an ID in this area label bar.
Yes, very good, Finn. Very good. So if there's already content present in the document that would describe this navigation, why would we not use this content? Yeah, so we could go ahead and say ID headline, for example, and then instead of area label, we use label by, and then reference this other element by the ID. And now,
Landmarks menu. Main navigation.
see main
Your
navigation,
our product navigation.
products,
Meta navigation.
yeah.
No items in. Closing. Voiceover off.
And now you see that, so if you cannot see actually, you can hear what type of navigation that is, yeah? And you can skip faster through the content and not trying out, but just go to the right place. Okay. Very good. More ideas. There's a lot of stuff here.
Like we have the H1 and then an H tag inside there, which is not conform to standards, I guess.
Oh, you can put an H1 and an H tag in the H1.
Okay.
That's not a problem.
I don't think it's.
But there's other things wrong here with the H1.
the missing of the image.
Hmm?
The height is missing of the image.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's yes.
Have to link the label. Label the link. So,
It's a functional image, not an informative image. And that's why the description should be something like homepage or what's it, perfect pasta or something.
yeah. So this is like, so imagine this would be like the logo of the website. First thing would be like, why wrap the logo in the H1? That doesn't make no sense, right? Because the H1 should describe the content above, below. And if the logo is on every website and the H1 would be the same on every website, that doesn't make no sense, right? So we don't need the H1 for the logo. Yeah, the H1 should describe the content on the website following below. Then what you said, I can give you a try with voiceover to emphasize on that.
Voiceover on Pro. Example 2. Web content. Example. You are currently on a banner. Inside web banner. Visited. Link. Visited. Link. Image. Logo including the representation of a bundle of intertwined golden pasta. Visually.
Yeah.
You are currently on a list. List 4 items. Voiceover off.
What did I just do? I clicked the link, right? Okay, so what you heard was like a description of what you can see in the picture, which does make sense for content pictures. But this is a logo. This is just decoration, right? So, what you would like to have, or and just what would you like to have? You said something like, home or the name of the company, Perfect Pasta. Yeah.
Or a combination of both.
Yeah. So you might get the idea to have like the say home. Yeah. So this is the link, and this link will bring you to home.
VoiceOver visited link image home.
Yeah.
You are currently on a VoiceOver off.
You heard it? It said home. It does make sense. If you cannot see the website, but you know there's a link and you can follow this link to go home. But would that be the best solution to solve it like this? Other ideas?
Should add a label to the link. I mean, the alt, I think we should still describe the image, that we should have like the home, should be like a little text node or a real label on the anchor or something.
Yeah. You said one very important thing. The alt text, the alternative text, is used to describe what is seen in the picture, which is not useful for blind users or screen readers users in this case. So what you want to do in this case would be setting an alt tag with an empty string as a value. And this removes the image from the accessibility tree. So this is not presented at all. The image in itself, the link is, and you want to describe the link. So what you can do is aria label home. Yeah? Would be one solution.
VoiceOver on Chrome. Visited link home. You are current list 4 items. You are currently on a heading level 1. VoiceOver off.
So you heard it announced home. That would work. But you propose an even better solution. Yeah? What you propose is to have something like visually hidden. Yeah. And I would argue if there is some kind of content, it's preferable to write it in the document. Yeah, because it would work without styles. If you remove the CSS, then you would see this, and it would work with automatic translation. So you can go ahead and add a span here and write home here. And now it's visible, this text here. But you don't want to have it visible. You have it. You want to hide it visually. Yeah. So you can go ahead and the class name and do something like visually hidden. Now I do this. Display now, and now it's gone. Ideas to this. Yes.
Display none removes it also from screen readers.
Yes, it also removes the element from the accessibility tree, which is something that is not displayed at all, is also hidden from the accessibility tree. So
VoiceOver on Chrome. In main. Out of example 2. Web content. You are currently on a web content. Toolbar item in tool interact with it. VoiceOver off.
Live coding is not that hard. Live voiceover is very hard.
VoiceOver in example 2. Visited link. http :/ VoiceOver off.
You see, it doesn't announce at all. So what you want to do is have it only visually hidden. And since I'm lazy, Tailwind as our only, if you're using Tailwind. Yeah, actually, I don't know why you would use Tailwind, but if you do, there's the SR only class, and it has this styles with which I just grabbed. So, and it just hides it from the screen, but it is still in the document. So, and now test it again.
VoiceOver on Chrome. In example visited link home.
And
You are
now-
VoiceOver off.
Now it's announced correctly. Okay. Question, yes.
Is this really the practice that you should do or have to do? Because like I haven't seen it like that yet, and it feels like it blows the code a lot.
It's just one class. Yeah. It's just adding this class once.
And
And then-
for everything that,
Yeah, and then use this everywhere. Again, you can go ahead and use an area label here. It's also fine. But so what's better with this approach is if you disable styles, this content will be displayed and you would not only rely on the image to tell what this link does. And if you auto-translate the page content, it doesn't always work with area labels. I've heard. I'm not quite sure about that, but those are the two arguments that I know.
And people have proposed it, but it's probably not.
If you disable CSS, you still will be able to see it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Another question, an empty alt tag, is this area visibility hidden is the same as empty alt tag? So can I, or is it even better?
You mean area hidden true?
Oh, area hidden true.
It has the same effect as far as I know. Yeah.
Because what?
It has the same effect. So what this does, alt tag with an empty string as a value, it removes the thing from the accessibility tree. It says this image is not part of the accessibility tree. And the same thing does area hidden true. But this is specifically for images. Yeah. And having no alt tag is not valid. Having alt tag with some text in here and then area hidden true, I don't know, doesn't feel right. Yeah, just do it like this. Yes.
I worked in a project with terrible SonarQube rules, and there an empty alt tag that was marked as invalid, and adding area hidden was my workaround. But I was talking with a guy who had set up this SonarQube rule 2 digits. Yeah. But that was a workaround, a temporary one. But better use no area space.
But now I'm thinking if I'm in really in the train inside Germany with really shitty connection, I will, like my image will be broken, right? Without any items on it. So and I'm curious, what's there?
I don't see anything at all, right?
Yes, so the alternative might be a better option here, because you have the text in case of a broken image at least. It
Yeah, it's true.
A little bit better.
You mean while the image is not loaded?
Yeah.
I mean, you could also argue that the logo is actually content. I mean, if like, let's say, I don't know, you have the logo of a company, and the company has some, I don't know, does something I don't like, and the logo is weird things that I have a problem with politically or whatever, then I might maybe want to know that the logo shows that. And if you hide it, you might not be aware of that.
Yeah, Harry?
In this case, how does Google.com differ? I mean, if you go to Google.com, there's a big Google logo and a text box. How does
they only care about performance?
Yeah. Yeah, actually, another argument here would be, so if you have an image with text on it, you should write the text in the alt tag. So if you have a logo that does include text, you might want to write that there. I don't know. I guess everything is fine. At least if you have a link with content inside of it and not just that. So content in a meaningful way that does describe what the link does, right?
I mean, it really depends on the context. Like the image says, I really want the description if it's not in the context of the header and the link here. So if the logo is somewhere else, then I want to describe the logo. But here, the logo, if you describe it, serves as the text for the link. So this is the purpose. It's not an informative image; it's a functional image. And one argument for not using home but using perfect pasta, like you just said, describing, is that voice. The people who use voice to navigate could say click perfect pasta. Because if they say click perfect pasta, it says perfect pasta, then it wouldn't work because the accessible name of the logo is home. So that can be confusing. This would also be an argument for using the brand name, not
So
or recommendation.
have it like this.
For example.
Yeah. Okay.
But I would say both are fine. It really depends, but it could be an argument for using the right thing.
Yeah, it depends on the context. Yeah.
Sorry,
Yes.
wouldn't it be just easier to move this image to CSS as background image?
Well, true.
You still need an accessible name for the link.
Yes.
So then you have the link, and then you're in the top 6 of the web really report the show.
Yeah.
You can't write and click down on the link.
Yeah, also true. Yeah.
I will do.
Okay. Any more questions and remarks regarding images? Okay, because there's more. I brought so much examples. WebP. The image format is totally irrelevant here. I want to bring your attention to this nicely main navigation here. How do you feel about that?
We should structure it like by an unordered list, for example.
Yeah, I would argue that depends. Yeah, so we could go ahead and have it like this. And wrap everything in an li.
Because it was written down by the Wicca. It's written down in one of the criteria. That you should at least for navigation landmark structure by another or by some list form of means. Which I think is a good example because I think we brought it up previously. It gives a structure, tells you about the amount of navigation items. We do have 4 items in here, so maybe this is an example where it doesn't fit, but you might have bigger navigations in there that you want to know about the amount of items you want to easily skip to another one, get to the previous one. So this might be not.
Yeah.
Landmarks menu, main navigation. You are currently in a navigation. List 4 items.
List 4
You are
items.
voiceover off.
So I would argue it depends. If it is a very short navigation with 4 items like here, you don't really need the list. You can skip through very fast. If you have like this big header with a lot of drop downs, you certainly want to have the list. Yeah, and nested lists probably.
And if you want to remove the dots, it's quite important to use list style type empty. Because of this Safari voice over back, which
If the list is inside enough.
Yeah, it changed recently, right? So because I tested it with Safari, so this is Chrome, but I tested it with Safari like a couple of weeks ago, and it worked.
Exactly.
Inside enough, it works.
Yes, it's relatively new.
Yeah.
Can you repeat? So if you remove the list styling from a list, Safari removes the list semantics. Because developers overused list. And so, but they brought it back specifically for lists that are inside the main element. They're making the semantic.
So it wouldn't read any more list items, and so on, but only with voiceover. And if you look at the spec, and you will see that one of the examples is actually that you use an output just links, so this is fine. It doesn't have to be a list. I think the definition of a nav is just a group of related links, and they don't have to be in a list. But you said, I think it makes sense because using like with the order lists showed earlier with the navigation open automatically. Like if I know that there are like 50 links, you can really useful use search instead for that.
Navigation help.
Yeah.
Area curve.
Ah. Right. You can see which is the active menu item, right? But you cannot hear it.
Voiceover on Chrome. Landmarks menu, main navigation. You are list 4 items. Bullet, visited, link, home. Bullet, link, product, bullet, link, team. You are voiceover off.
You heard product and it didn't announce anything that it would be the current page. Because this is, we styled it only with CSS. So instead of doing something like this, and Marco said this, yeah, area current page. And then we can just use this as the selector in CSS. Instead of having the class selector, we have the attribute selector. And we can still see that product is active.
Voiceover landmarks menu. You are list 4 item bullet. Visited link bullet. Current page link. Products. Voiceover off.
Current page products. Yeah. Now you can also hear it. Okay. Okay. Another thing. If I do this. Any ideas?
You can add more landmarks to find the single pieces inside the document, like spaghetti could be a landmark and rigatoni could be a landmark. Could use sections or even articles.
Yeah, you could use sections, you could use articles. Since we have headlines, yeah, since we have headlines.
Landmarks menu, Windows links menu, headings menu, two. Penny versatility added, no items in, headings closing, voiceover off.
Okay. This is something I was referring to, yes. We could have a skip link in the beginning, right? So we could go ahead and here add a link tag. Add an anchor tag to an element on the page and say skip to main content. So, and now we could go ahead and reference this here. Content. So, but now it's always visible here. So what we want to do is something like first make sure it's above the content. Not relative. Absolute, and maybe give it some background so we can distinguish it. Something like this. And also, this skip link, we want to hide it, but not if it is focus visible. So we could just add this selector to this rule.
The class on the
Oh, thanks. Class skip. So it's not visible, and I put tab, skip to main content, and I can scroll down there. Very good.
Do you always have skip link or only in certain situations? When do you add skip link, or how do you decide whether you want to add skip link or not?
Question to the group.
On every header. Every time you're on the site, on the header, I would say always.
Yeah.
There's so much content. So if the header only has one link,
Yeah.
that's already loaded the big link. But
As well, yeah.
if you have a lot of text stops in the header, then it's nice to divide the screen. Also, maybe if you have a section further down on the page which has a lot of text slots, then you also want to.
Yeah, you can also add something like
50 text slots in like a filter. You have to go through everything. You go to the actual content after the filter. So.
Yeah.
Or carousel together.
And just skip it.
Yes, exactly. I've done that. Yeah, skip after carousel, skip to footer. This does make sense. It depends on the context. If you don't have that many links, up front, you probably don't need the skip link. But if there's a big header with multiple navigation items, then you would need it.
New York Times, for example. You can.
Mhm. Checked, of course. Yes. Ah.
There are at least, I don't know, 20, 25 interactive elements in there, so
Mhm.
you definitely need the skipping here. Because US International Canada is pretty good, the buttons at the top.
Yeah.
There's a search and then logo.
Yeah. But when I hit top, there, skip to content. Yeah. Okay. Another thing regarding the keyboard navigation. Any ideas? Leo.
Yeah, you could also add anchor links next to the headlines of each product. So like you do something like put a hash next to the headline and use it as jump marks.
You mean like so this does have the headline, and you mean like ID spaghetti, something like this, and then have a link up top to skip to there?
Yeah.
Would make sense if the document is quite large. Yeah, of course.
It's sometimes like you can put a anchor tag inside the headline. Yeah.
An anchor tag inside the headline.
So that you can copy the link with the hash. It's not just linked to the page, beginning of the page, but so that it starts with the heading.
Like in the end, for example.
Okay, I'm kind of lost. What do you mean? So have like another link here, and then
Right
yeah.
after the heading.
Right after the heading. Okay, Trev.
One example page I've seen there is I think here Stephanie Eccles 11T Rocks website has these anchor pages next to the headlines.
Okay. You mean like these ones here?
Yeah, this one.
Okay. Let's see. This. Okay. So in this case, it would be not have it here, but oh, you still need the ID, right? ID spaghetti. Have it like this, right?
Yeah, for example.
Okay. Yeah, and you can like copy the link here or open it in a new tab.
And also here's the tab scope.
Yeah. Good idea.
But you probably have an issue with the default focus styles.
Yeah. That was what I was referring to. Yeah. So these are just the default focus styles. Yeah. And you can improve on this to make it even visually more clear where you are right now. So very easy with these as you can go ahead and set focus visible. And you can do border solid crimson. And outline offset. No, it's not border, it's outline. Outline offset. Something like this. And you see now it's super clear. There you are. By the way, what's the difference between focus and focus visible? Ideas? Yes. So if I use focus, And if I click on it with the mouse, you also have the focus there, and it stays. But I click somewhere else.
Then design is always
And focus visible is just when it's really in focus with the tab. Yeah. Okay. Let's go check. We missed something very important. Oh. Oh yeah, okay. This is this is because the links are too small here. Okay, but I guess we can skip that. Any questions regarding this? Okay, do we still have time? I brought more examples. Let's at least start with the next one. Can I move this thing? I brought an accordion, which works perfectly fine, as you can see here. And it also has the perfect score. And if you look at the code, there's even some semantics here. Yeah. But when I use the keyboard, I'm pressing tab, you have to believe me. And this is not because I hit the outline of the focus element. Any idea what might be wrong here? Let me use
Voiceover on Chrome. In example, definition list 4 items. Right pointing triangle. How much pasta should I prepare per person? Right pointing triangle. How should I store my pasta? Voiceover off.
It doesn't even announce something like button clickable. Great. So, any idea? What might be the first very important problem here?
Wrong tags.
Wrong tags. Yes, you used wrong HTML tags. Yes.
Summary. Details and summary.
No, that's fine.
So that's the details and summary I would use for that, for example.
Okay. Yeah. Good. This is a definition list. Yeah, which also is fine for FAQs like this. But look at this button, guys. What's wrong there? It's not a button. Marcus said that. If you can click on it, it's a goddamn button. This is not a button element. Yeah. So, so what you want to do is like wrap a button around the thing. And since we're short on time, I just remove all the other examples here. So it's easier. So what this JavaScript thing here does right now is to select all the buttons and add a click listener, and then it grabs the button from the target and the description that should be shown from the next element, which would no longer work, right? And this is why you can do something like area controls, FAQ1, for example, and then you add the ID here, FAQ1, to make it clear that this button controls somehow this element here. And then you can search for that to document get element ID. And the ID would be the button get at
the common good details and summary are this. A lot of code to achieve this.
Let's go.
Finding this JavaScript. Code.
You could use it as a summary, yes.
Just want to make this example.
Yeah, I just want to make the example.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
With features and summary, you get it for free. Yeah. I just want to show you guys how you can control these with JavaScript if you need to. Yeah. So, area controls. And now it should work again. Yes.
And this keyboard? This keyboard?
But we could do better. We could.
Just have to say what you make the thing like pop up or something. That's it. No, I just said no semantics to talk about what it should do. They should expand.
Yeah.
And in this case, it's actually really a good idea because if you have 5 of them, 5 details, how do you connect them? How do you make all of them closed but one is open? I think there is a problem. But I think for you, I think there is it already in all rows? Okay. Usually with accordions, because it's basically an accordion, there are a lot of things that you should be or could be able to do, like maybe you want to open a specific one, or maybe you want to limit or limit it in a way where only one is open. So this might be an argument against this or for it depends on what you want. So
yeah, but if you solve it like this, so now you can see that it is open. Yeah. But if you go ahead.
Voice in. Example, definition list 2 items. Right pointing black triangle. How a good rule of thumb is 80-100 gram. Right pointing black triangle. How much pasta should I prepare per person? Button. Group. Voiceover off.
Okay, so 2 things. It didn't announce it is open, and it did announce this weird error. Any ideas regarding one of these 2 issues? Yeah.
Yeah, so there's ARIA expanded for announcing if it's open or not.
Yeah, right. So what this thing does here is to set data expanded attribute, but you can just go ahead and use ARIA instead. And then also set the, not on the element which is controlled, but on the button. Because when you're on the button, you want to hear the announcement that it is expanded or not. Area expanded false, which is the default. So now.
Voiceover on in. Example definition right pointing black triangle. How much pasta should I prepare per person? Collapsed. Button. Group. You.
Yet word collapsed.
Right pointing black triangle. How much pasta should I prepare per person? Expanded. Button. Group. You voiceover off.
Okay.
I really don't want to make a joke again, but you get that information for your details.
Yes. You're right about that. Okay, so. Yeah. Yeah, but if you want to have greater control about the whole accordion, you kind of have to follow this approach, right? Okay, now the error, the black pointy error. This is before element content. Any ideas how we can solve that this is announced in the screen reader?
There's a new syntax for alternative text. So you could use a backslash behind it with an empty string there.
Yeah, when I learned about that, my mind was blown. You can,
yeah.
You can add the backslash.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as I know. You can add the. You can add the.
Let's try it out. I mean,
yeah, you can add the backslash here, and so in front of the backslash is the content for that is displayed, and after the backslash is the alternative content for screen readers. So we can just go ahead and add an empty string, and thereby remove it. So.
Voice in. Example definition list 1. How much pasta should I prepare per person? Collapsed. Voiceover off.
It's not going to get announced. The thing with this is, if you look at the accessibility tree, it's still in there, but as an empty text. So it doesn't get removed from the tree, but it doesn't have content, so it's not getting announced. Yeah, but it works. Okay. One more thing. The content is hidden with display none.
It's not so search for.
Yeah.
That's why you want it.
But he's moving this problem.
Or whatever it was, it's not found, I think. So you use an attribute of the HTML instead of a class. But is that something?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. So the problem here is, you can see that in the accessibility tree, that you have the description list with the term and only the term right now. And now the definition appears. So you kind of butcher the structure. Yeah, if you have just a list of terms and no definitions. So what you should do is not, if you use a definition list, not hide the description details element, but just put a div in there. That's a good use case for a div. And reference this one to hide. So now you have term and definition all the time, and definition is empty text because it is hidden right now. And now you can see there's content and definition when you expand. Okay.
Usability hidden class for definition.
Oh, okay, question to the group. What do you think? Should it be actually hidden or just visually hidden?
Not visually hidden, because that the button doesn't make sense anymore. Like what the cover anything like basically.
Yeah, right. If it's just visually hidden and you have a long list of FAQs and you're going to read FAQ number 10, you have to read through everything before maybe. Yeah? And you cannot just go through the terms and check if that's what you're interested in, but you also have to read the answers. Or have them read to you. Okay. Since we're very short on time, this is it. Thank you so much.